Welcome to today's collective reading for the masculine collective that is called here at this time to seek guidance from the divine and from their feminine to gain insight into both. I imagine you can hear the smile and the slight bit of laughter in me. I now understand why I have had a couple of stops and goes in recording here. There is a very strong message present in things needing to or having been done in proper order. Now, I will say that I will sometimes use assertive energy to label masculine and receptive energy or aspect to label the feminine. This reading is more of a pyramid reading to help you gain insight from the divine perspective, which overarches the entire reading, from the feminine's higher self, future self, what they would like you to know, what guidance they would like you to receive in particular, their conscious self, what they're actually aware of as they move through the world, the physical world. And then their subconscious, which is where their inner child is, their most innocent, vulnerable aspect that they more than likely don't even know how to show most people, but they've shown you. You're able to access this part of them, or you have in the past. Their ego is the culmination of their greatest, most beautiful moments and their worst, most terrible, awful moments as well. This is the part of them that becomes triggered. The subconscious is their hard drive, in a way. It's every experience they've ever had throughout their brain's ability to collect information in this life. I will do a summary at the end to tie together everything and gain any advice in particular for you to just really tie it all together. There will be specific messages for specific masculine or assertive energies that are watching throughout this reading. So I highly recommend for you, if you could only do 5 minutes, listen to 5 minutes. And then listen to another 5 minutes. Listen to it again, because I know you guys are busy. I know that you guys have things you're juggling. And I respect that, and divine respects that. But if you're feeling a resonance and you're feeling called to do that, you know there's a message in this reading for you, and I will be as brief as I can. But I will be thorough. So, with that all said, I would like to highlight that not only did 2-2 and 2-3-4 come through immediately from the divine overarching message blanketing all of this, my tea light went out on the timer at 2-3-4. 4 is foundational. It's the two of you working in connection with the divine to bring about the stable structure in the physical reality of 4. This is very important. So, the divine is really highlighting the need for not just you, but for them to be able to be vulnerable, to be exposed, to see the gift of the connection, of that vulnerability, the choice to be vulnerable, and the resonance, them needing to be in harmony in that, to be at that same space. And there's such a look on this individual's card and this face in this card. It's very intentional. It's like, all right, I've made my move. I've been vulnerable. I've gone and done everything I can to be in vibration and harmony, and I appreciate the gift that I am and that you are. I need to know that you're going to step up to the plate and be as vulnerable as I am choosing to be, intentionally as well. I need to know you're mirroring me because I've made that step and I'm waiting for you to mirror me. Like, you can feel that intention, and this can definitely be the divine affirming this is where you are. You're here. You've done this. And you're waiting for your feminine to mirror you. You're manifesting her to mirror you. It can also be her in this state as well. You both may be in this state, but maybe the divine is not letting you see this just yet. There's something else that needs to happen before you could see each other clearly in this way. So, however this resonates with you, which group you end up in, whatever like mixing of that you may be, there's a concept of reciprocity. Those that you or they have been spending their time, their energy, wearing their masks because they feel they have no choice, because their stability depends on these other individuals, these other energies that they know are not necessarily the best for them. In the bigger picture, they keep them stable in what they know now. No, they can't cope with any plates or bowls or dishes or anything falling and breaking. They can't cope with anything they're juggling falling. You are both in this state, and you are both choosing at this time to actually become aware. This is what's being highlighted, that you're aware you're not going to need to drop anything. In fact, once the divine removes or gives the green light for you to see each other at this level, like, you're already on the right path. You've already been walking it. This is just the next step. The next step closer to physically being in union in this reality, in this multiverse, in this universe, within the multiverse. Oh my gosh. You're going to be able to keep even more things up in the air because you'll have the strength of each other to be able to empower one another. Every step you get closer together, the stronger you become, the easier things become, because you're working with divine more and more. You're getting more and more help. You're less and less alone. And you're less and less going to be surrounded by people that are two-faced, that hurt you while you get something you need, that poison you while pretending to help you, kind of a thing. In other words, you've either had frenemies around you or you still do. Either way, they're getting phased out because you're out vibing them. You're ascending beyond their games. You're seeing their deception and their crap for what it is, for a lack of a better word. All right, so for your feminine's guidance, what they'd like to highlight for you from their higher self, their future self. And when I say future self, this is your future partner giving you some insight into how to overcome the challenge that may be before you in this moment, how to reframe it, how to make this so much more efficient and easier on you and them, because your feminine may not be getting this particular message. She may not. This may be a way for you to support her more than she's necessarily getting from herself, because She's not you. She can't support herself in the same way you do. If you're, the masculine here, you're going to be the assertive energy. She's going to have assertive energy. She's definitely going to be able to make decisions for herself and actively move in those directions, but you are predominantly assertive energy. You have receptive, but you are predominantly a doer, and you act, you move. You don't, your comfort level is not sitting and waiting. That's not where you prefer to be. So that insight coming through is the desire for the inner child within you to actively seek the inner child within her. Play, be silly, joke. If she makes a lame joke, make a lame joke too. Let that inner child in her know that it's safe with you, that she's safe with you. And this will only allow her to move more and more into a state of feeling abundant in her connection with you. That if her inner child, her most vulnerable part of her, is safe with you, that foundation is going to become very strong, very quick. Because you haven't hurt that vulnerable part of her. Now I'm using her because we're talking feminine and receptive. If that is not how this energy presents to you, please feel free to switch that. And this particular deck has two very unique cards, and this only solidifies that this is the higher self coming through, that she is speaking to you from the higher realms, from the future, if you will. Whatever resonates best for you. This card speaks of being able to weave the threads of fate, of time, that they all collide within this part of her. And this part of her is aware of all of them and is able to cope with, direct, nurture, empower how she and the divine decide. And you have say in this. This part of her is currently with the equal part of you. So you have say in this. You're helping yourself through her right now in many ways. So if some of what comes through in the rest of this reading, or what came through just before I spoke of her or of this particular card, you could take it as coming from your future self too. Okay, moving into the conscious insight guidance that your feminine would like to bring to your attention. Consciously, her inner masculine aspect, her inner assertive energy knows. She knows what she wants. She knows exactly what she wants, and she's passionate about it, and she's acting towards that. Even if it's not something you can see. And if it is, great, you know it, you see it, it's there. But it could be something that is more subtle because she is most comfortable in and is being guided to learn the lessons in this life of being the receptive energy. There's a reason she's more comfortable being receptive. It is part of her soul contract. It is her lesson in this life. So she knows what she wants. She's got the Four of Pentacles next. It's almost as though she has all of this abundance within reach, but none of it's what she wants. It's there to support her light work, it's there to support her mission, but it's not what she values. It's almost as if there's so much of it that it has next to no value, because what she wants isn't around money, isn't around 3D physical abundance. She sees that abundance is there to serve its purpose. What she is longing for, you can't buy with money. You can't buy with objects. She's longing for that connection. She's longing for you. To put it bluntly, she's missing you. Almost like the bucket list. Like, what is the point of all of this if I don't have anyone to enjoy it with? And you're unique. She's unique too. Not just anyone can be her equal. That will allow her to feel like she's not alone. Because the next card is the Queen of Swords, which typically is very scary. She gets a very bad rap. The Queen of Swords, you know she's not wanting to put up with any bullshit. To be very honest, she's able to call you on it. And you're able to call her on it too. You know when she's not being true to herself. It's part of why she sees you as her equal, because you see what she doesn't and she sees what you don't. She sees in your blind spot and you see in hers. Her being in Queen of Swords is a very good thing. It means she's able to discern clearly what's in your blind spot. It does not mean that she's going to cut you out. It means that she's going to show you where you're still being manipulated, being used. She's not cutting you out in this card. The energy is very muchly, she is concerned that what she sees in your blind spot, you're not going to be willing to see. And instead of rejecting or choosing to alchemize or change that which is holding you back, using you and her, because you're being used, she is too. When you hurt, she hurts. That you will choose to allow it to remain because it's easier for some reason, because you're all unique and you all have very adult issues that you're juggling. She's concerned that you're going to choose to allow yourself to remain in this dynamic because it's easier to not change it. And she has gotten to that point where she will see it and she respects you enough to say something, to show it to you, because she sees you as her equal. She's worried you're going to choose the toxin over the truth, over her. Because she didn't have to choose this path. She didn't have to put herself out. She didn't have to be honest with you, knowing she could lose you. But she did it because she loves you. Because she loves herself. And you're a part of her. I know that sounds intimidating, but think of it this way. That inner child that the higher self spoke of, that inner child is your splash within her. In the yin-yang symbol, when she loves herself, she loves the part of you that is her, because you're connected. This is a soul tie, a soul mate, a union, a sacred union kind of connection. However you choose to label what is between you two, there's a reason you're very strongly pulled to one another. And it's because there's a part of you that lives in her, and there's a part of her that lives in you. You are connected on that level, which is only affirmed by the Two of Pentacles. You're in that constant infinity. You're always moving in reaction, relation to one another. Spooky action at a distance. If you want to apply a scientific theory, whatever you do, however far apart you are, the action is mirrored within her, wherever or however far away from you she is. You guys probably have been doing things like this your whole lives, and you never knew it until, or when you finally do get to compare notes. Okay, going into the subconscious here. All right, so the subconscious is touching on a lot of the things that we've already discussed, which makes sense because your subconscious actually controls most of what you consciously think. Your subconscious controls a lot of the decisions you make in life. It's where most of your thoughts exist, and you're not aware of most of them. It's kind of scary when you think about it, but there are ways through mindfulness exercises and conscious decision of what to enforce and not reinforce that you can work with it and make that something that actually works in your benefit. So we have the Strength card here. We have the Five of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the Devil, and the Nine of Pentacles. And this is about what you should see in a subconscious reading. It starts with the power of that inner child, of being vulnerable, showing that inner child, and the fierce protectiveness, and the very conscious decision to show that part of yourself. The fierce protectiveness of this aspect is something that she is wanting to show you. She is scared you're going to hurt her, just like you are. But you both want this. And that is a major arcana card, so it is divinely supported for you both to do this. So you'll be safe when you make this decision. You will be aided in it being successful and being safe. The Five of Wands is kind of like a, I want to say it's like a fake boogeyman, really. It's the things that present themselves to be bigger than they really are. It's like a balloon, and you just pop it, and it shrinks like drastically. The Ace of Cups upright is also, there's so many little butterflies in this image that there's a lot of them that is hopeful. But it's also why they're scared, because they're so hopeful. So hopeful. But this image is definitely like Holy Grail. It's like the light within the darkness. I think that this is the part of them that is aware of the part of them that's within you. There's a lot of these butterflies, these little lights, these little hopes, these little dreams that subconsciously they know is being mirrored back to them in you. They have this hope because you do. They just don't know which hope consciously, They don't have that level of access. And that's there for a reason. That is definitely divinely guided. The Ace of Cups. This is the cup of love. The language of the divine. If there is ever a card or a placement that the divine would have say in, it would be this one. And it's fitting that the Devil is in between this card and the Nine of Pentacles. So there have faced their shadow. They have faced all of the parts of them that have been brought before them by the divine, that have kept them from moving into this state of abundance. In many cards, many decks, the Nine of Pentacles literally shows a female pregnant with abundance. This is one step behind being Empress. It's like, it's the Lesser Arcana Empress card. So she's very, very close to this. However, in this image, there's this youthful naivety, and she's surrounded by, you know, like a couple of new beginnings, but there's some that she wants more. She's given more energy and nurturing to. But she wants all of these new beginnings. There's just certain ones she really desires, and it's with this, you know, it's with the healed ego, if you will. And what I mean by that, because you're thinking, oh great, the triggered parts of her want this. Great. She's healed, she's illuminated. So that means that all of these triggers, they're not fractured anymore. They're melded within her. She is not a fractured personality. The ego is now one of her greatest allies. The ego serves a different function within her subconscious when the ego is healed. She's consciously choosing. She's on the throne in her life. She's choosing how to lead her life, her kingdom. She's working with all aspects of self. And if she's not currently there, she is on her way. She's very close. She's got those last little pieces that are falling into place. Overall guidance, if one were to summarize, I've done a 3 cards and a crossing card, and then 1 clarifier as well. For the first placement, we have miracles, and crossing that is Archangel Michael. Now, the 2 cards for clarifying this, with miracles, we have determination. You basically manifested this through your determination. You were like, you're getting to the top of that pyramid, top of that mountain. You're going to get to your sun, to your happiness. It was happening. You were not accepting any alternative. And because of that, you're manifesting miracles. Or you are the miracle because she sees you this way. Archangel Michael is paired with hunger. And the image on this is definitely that of the sun. It's what it says to me. So you are protected. She is protected. This hunger for both of your happiness is guided and protected. You have energies that are doing battle to protect this connection. On other dimensions, realms, other universes, you have a lot of energies that are moving to make this possible. They may not let you know because they don't want it to affect you, to be aware of it as these battles are happening. They want you to be able to focus on the connection and not on the battle that they're fighting. They'll fight it so you don't have to even focus on it. So know that you are protected even if you're unaware of it. You are. There's a blessing in knowing that you're not aware of what could happen if they were not fighting that battle. To be grateful for that. the whole ignorance is bliss kind of thing. The other two cards that are crossing each other, we have body care, clarified by sweetness. To enjoy your physical form, to take the time to do things that bring you relief, that bring you the ability to enjoy the simple things in your physical experience. She will mirror this. If you do this, she will begin to do this. If she does it, you will begin to do it. Spooky action at a distance. If you want her to move a certain way, begin to move that way as well. The next card that's crossed with this body care is study, and clarifying it as peace. It's a picture, an image of a dove with an olive branch. So with the study, it's highlighting the other aspects to the physical form. It's highlighting your emotional body, your energetic body, all the different layers, the balancing of them, the awareness of them. To become familiar with the chakra system from even like a psychological perspective, the way that we develop through each level, there's so much science that goes into it. It's not necessarily this etherical thing that's intangible. It colors every aspect of who we are. Beginning with like the root chakra, with your ability to feel safe. The sacral chakra, your connection not just to your emotions, but to your right to create, to have fun, to enjoy. Just as an example, to go to the beach and then just lose yourself to creating, like when you were a kid, to creating a sandcastle and then destroying it and then creating it again and then destroying it and creating it again. That creation, your solar plexus, your personal power, your I am. And it goes up and up from there. To learn of this is going to bring peace. It's going to assist in bringing balance. To nurture the physical form and not ignore the other forms of you, of your being, will help to bring balance here. Now, I do want to highlight what was on the top of the deck and the bottom of the deck for each deck, because it's pretty poignant. So the top of the deck for the angels, we have the angel deck, the angel healing deck, we have abundance, and the bottom is soulmate. So you have so much abundance coming in with enjoying something as simple as music, creating harmony, balance, losing yourself to that flow. Brings in that soulmate. And in the image of the soulmate card, it's the inner children. It's your inner children. When someone shows you their inner child and it is embodying that part of them, you fall. And they fall in kind when you show your inner child. Because then you know you could be all of yourself with them. You don't have to hold anything back. You found a home. The other deck, we have the top of the deck is forward movement. It's definitely an 8 of Wands kind of card. It's definitely got some momentum, directed, fast, let's go. And at the bottom is creative. So it's speaking a lot to being open to creative ways of communicating, to thinking outside of the box and how you communicate, to opening your mind to even something as simple as your atoms being able to interact with one another at vast distances from one another, to that concept being present within the two of you. It's a pretty radical concept, but it's beautiful too. It's beautiful too. And that'll conclude the reading for today. Thank you for listening to today's collective reading. I do hope that this reading finds you in a time where you are going to encounter the synchronicities that you are longing for, and the divine is co-creating and you receiving in this reading. You are not alone. The divine in me honors the divine in you. Namaste.